up, Talonites? It's your boy TalonMasterJ here for something kind of brand new, in a sense, ladies and gentlemen, at least from my perspective, because I don't really do these videos personally. I've thought about doing them, and I just don't, because I really don't know how I'm going to do on them. I'm not really good at them. But the point is we're going to be doing some Showdown Draft League content for you guys, ladies and gentlemen, because your Atlanta Talonflames got selected for one of the 4 tiers of the Bandless Battlers League Showdown Season 10. Now, as you guys remember, last year we were in BBL for Wi-Fi on Sword and Shield, and we honestly didn't do so well. We finished 2-7. I think we finished either dead last or second to last or third to last. I don't even remember, truthfully. I'd have to pull up that Google sheet or whatever, or maybe one of the BBL admins, if they watch this video, they can remind me in the comments below what I finished. But as we all remember, I finished with using Fly Eveltal of all things, because I have no idea how to use an Eveltal. But essentially, BBL for Showdown tiers, they have 4 tiers. They have the Arceus division, which is their top division, the Silvally division, which is their second highest, Type No, which is their second lowest, and last year it was BB Elegant, or Biblicant as they were pronouncing it. Also, I'm just realizing a malware by saying that's pretty funny. But this time they decided to do BB Lochin, because everybody loves Lochin, and honestly it's all good, but we have to worry about that. And we're in BB Lochin, so we're in the lowest division, which makes sense. Just have to do well and see how we can do. But if you guys are excited for some BBL Draft League content, Showdown content, leave a like on this video below, comment down below, subscribe if you guys are new so we can try to get to one of our goals of maybe 300 subscribers. And honestly, I'm just going to talk about our opponent here, and then we're going to get into the battle, ladies and gentlemen. So, our first week opponent, his name is Wiki Will. And I forget his team name off rip. I'm recording this, and I just literally forgot his team name, and I'm not about to go and look it up. Truthfully, I apologize to Will on that. But his team is very scary, because he has arguably the greatest Mega Evolution of all time in Mega Metagross. And that is not just being said because I am a Steel-type expert. It is the truth. Mega Metagross is just that damn freaking good. It is scary. It hits like a truck. It's got Bullet Punch, Zen Headbutt, Earthquake, Meteor Mash, the Elemental Punch moves. Although I could be forgetting about certain ones. The point is, this mon is dominant as hell. So, have to worry about that. Then he has Rayquaza. Rayquaza, Airlock, very good, very strong, and honestly, I mean, base 95 speed, really, really effective. Volcarona is one of his Terra captains. He can Terra it into any type, which is much like mine. So you get 25 points to make your Terra captains. And he picked Volcarona as one of his Terra captains. And I believe the other 2 were Knucklestack and Oricorio, which you can see at the bottom there. The Knucklestack and the Oricorio were his Terra captains. But Volcarona, it can be a bulky set, it could be a offensive set. I don't even know what he could be running here, except maybe Quiver Dance, because I mean, you kind of need Volcarona to get at least one Quiver Dance off if you want to ensure that you're going to do well with Volcarona, but that's just neither here nor there. Tinglu, honestly a very strong Pokemon, very bulky. The Treasures of Ruin are going to be in Regulation C starting this week at Fort Wayne, which honestly I am going to be watching that very, very, very heavily, as I will be spending the next month and a half on top of Draft League preparing for the Hartford Regionals. So gonna have to be worried about the Treasures of Ruin and see how they do in Fort Wayne and Sydney, and I think the European Internationals are coming up as well too. Milotic, as we all know, very bulky, gets competitive, but it doesn't really use competitive. It's probably going to be a Marvel scale set if it comes. Porygon 2 is the bane of most singles draft players' existences because of Eviolite. And I hope to God it doesn't come. And the fact that I do have an Iron Hands means probably it won't come, and also I have a Cobalion for that matter. Raikou, very strong, very fast, one of his 2 fastest mons on top of Meowscarada, which I still maintain. Best final Paldean starter, no doubt. Galarian Weezing, very big of a tank. Could be Rocky Helmet, could be Black Sludge, honestly don't know. Knucklestack and Oricorio, I really don't see him bringing those 2 because, I mean, I've got a Greninja with Water Shuriken, I've got a Shaman with Seed Flare, I've got a Iron Hands that can beat this thing up, I got a Cobalion that can beat these things up, I got a Mimikyu that can kind of technically handle the Oricorio. So yeah, that's basically what we're going to be battling for week number 1 of BB Load Sheen. But let me get into my team specifically. First up, we are bringing Eat More Chicken, which is our Mega Blaziken, and the rule with Mega Evolutions is they have to wear the Mega Stone. They can Mega Evolve at any time. They don't have to Mega Evolve the second they go on the field. So the plan is with this Blaziken, 252 in attack and 252 in speed with 4 special defense. Not really trying to be bulky, trying to be fast, but I do have bulk up to try to get a +1 attack, +1 defense, get that speed boost, then Mega Evolve and go to a base 160 physical attack at +1 with Thunder Punch for the Milotic, Brick Break for the Porygon 2 and the Ting-Lu and the Knucklestack, Knock Off to get rid of certain items. I mean, it probably won't do anything on Mega Metagross, but it'll still be a nice, effective move to use against it, in the event that I'm stupid enough to put a fighting type in front of a psychic type. Next up is Super Red Beetle, our shiny Genesect, because of course shiny Genesect is better than the original Genesect. I will maintain that. With the Focus Sash this week, Shift Gear, Thunderbolt, Leech Life, and Zen Headbutt. Thunderbolt is there for Milotic, it is there for Oricorio, it's there to give a little bit of chip on Rayquaza. Shift Gear is there to ensure that I am faster than everything on his team, even a Volcarona at +1, with 168 in speed plus a hasty nature, with 228 in physical attack, 88 in HP, and 24 in special attack. So the Thunderbolt will be at least a 2-hit KO at a +1 if I get the download boost to special attack. Next up is Chris Lindstrom, our Iron Hands, because as you guys know, I am a diehard Atlanta Falcons fan. This is no slight to the large size of offensive linemen in the NFL. I am a large man myself, but Chris Lindstrom is literally the Iron Hands of the Atlanta Falcons offensive line, and he just signed a 5-year, $105 million contract extension. Very well worth it, because the dude has only 1 penalty in 4 years, which is really good. Now this set, I will also say, this is a Kirby set, because I showed Kirby this team, and conversely I also showed OG Albina this team, and almost everyone in Owen server this team, and Kirby said, and I quote, "Where is your ground type, Joe? Because Specs Raikou go burr." And he said, you might want to use Assault Vest, Iron Hands, and start praying. So, Assault Vest, Hariyama, I'm going to start praying, Kirby, with Earthquake, Ice Punch, Rock Slide, and Thunder Punch. Assault Vest, I can take any +1 Volcarona, even a Psychic, for a +1. I can take Metagross, Zen Headbutts, because I mean it's base 154 and base 108. I mean it's still going to be a 2-hit KO, but I have to watch out for the flinch there. Ice Punch is there naturally for the Rayquaza, +4, or not +4, ×4 super effectiveness. Rock Slide in the event that maybe I can just maybe, get a Volcarona before it tears into something. And then Thunder Punch because it's stab on Iron Hands. Next up is Zygarde Helper, our Greninja. I am bringing Battle Bond this week with Terra Ground. And this is honestly the easiest way to pay homage to the anime with how Ash's Zygarde, Ash's Greninja was the helper of the Zygarde. give it the Terra type of ground, give it Battle Bond. Now, Ash-Greninja is not around. As we know, Battle Bond, after KOing a Pokemon, you get one chance to get an attack, special attack, and speed boost by one stage. It is one time only. I have to be extra careful with it. But the ground type, pay homage to your boss. And, of course, your Zygarde's helper. Terra Blast with Terra Ground. That's for the Metagross, that's for the Raikou, that's for the Knuckle Stack, if I really wanted to. And if for some reason he brings Neutralizing Gas, Galarian Weezing, I could do some damage with that. Grass Knot, there for the Milotic and the Ting-Lu. It is a guaranteed 2-hit KO with Expert Belt, even through Ting-Lu's, what is it, the Ruined one for Ting-Lu. I'm just now over, dang it! What is, I forgot Ting-Lu's, it's just something of, oh, Vessel of Ruin. That was it. Grass Knot and Ice Beam are guaranteed 2-hit KOs on it, and Dark Pulse for stat. Next up is Dancing Queen, Shaman Sky, with Leftovers, and yes, that is an ABBA reference. ABBA, very good band in the late 70s and whatnot. This is also a set that I found from Owen's server when I talked about this. I forget who it was. I will probably put this in a pinned comment on who I got this one from. But they were talking about Sub-Seed Shaman Sky looking good in this format. So, we're going to try it. Substitute, Leech Seed, Air Slash, and Toxic are going to be the three, are going to be the moves of choice that we use. And then we're going to have Toxic on there, maybe to cripple the Milotic, even though it'll give it the Marvel Scale before the Flame Orb. Porygon 2, it needs to be Toxic. We all have done this before. You see a Porygon 2, you have to have a Toxic Mon, or Dusclops for that matter. And then Sub-Leech Seed with Leftovers just to gain as much recovery as possible. And then finally, I am bringing Nightmare Fuel, the Hisuian Zoroark. I did a draft league. I forget what it was. I think it was it CBN or was it IBA or something like that? But it was done on the Radical Red Showdown server. And I can't remember what league it was for, but I used Hisuian Zoroark to freaking... I went ham with this thing. Because that normal and ghost typing is broken as hell. It's broken. All it resists is all it's weak to is a dark move, and technically fighting if you have a Scrappy Mon in front of it. So you don't really want to put this in front of a Flamigo. But Bitter Malice, Focus Blast, Psychic Trick, Choice Specs with the Illusion and a Timid Nature. This thing is just, it's designed to trick the Choice Specs and then go to town on one of its three moves. Focus Blast for something like Ting-Lu, Psychic is there for the Galarian Weezing, and Bitter Malice is there for the Mega Metagross to cripple it. But that's going to be the team, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get into the battle, and I will see you guys there. Let's get into week 1 of BB Lochin. Okay, so I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm an idiot. I set a hotkey on my keyboard to record, and while I was going on the Damage Calc website, I accidentally hit that button. I didn't realize it, and I managed to stop the recording after only like 30 seconds. So I had to save the game as a replay, so we're going to have to do it as a post-com. And yeah, we're going to go from there. But as you see, our opponent's team, he brought Rayquaza, Volcarona, Weezing, Galar, Ting-Lu, Raikou, and Metagross. So we both brought our Mega Pokemon, which makes perfect sense. We both brought a Terra Captain this week, which makes sense. And yeah, so we're just going to get into it, guys. We're going to hit play here, and I'm going to explain to you guys the turns as it goes on. So he led with Ting-Lu, and I led with Chris Lindstrom. Now, at first glance, a ground type with an electric type. Not the greatest, but at the same time, a physical fighting type with a dark type. I mean, granted, Tinglu does have good physical defense, but it still doesn't want to take any hits. So I went for Ice Punch. I did 24%. So again, I didn't have close combat on Iron Hands. I just felt like it wasn't going to be the greatest move for this one, so I went with Iron Hands with Ice Punch, so, you know, just get a little bit of chip on it. But as we see, he went with Stealth Rock, so he gets his rocks up, and now I don't have a defog. I mean, I could have had one in Shane and Sky, but I figured, nah, I'm not going to do that. So he has rocks up the rest of the game. I take 25%, but he went for the Earthquake, and we got the read right. So we got that. So get our leftovers recovery. He goes into Raikou as we put up our substitute. So we are behind a sub. Now Raikou can't technically break the substitute, but this is what's going on with him. I get the Leech Seed off on Raikou as he goes for Thunderbolt and Faith. So leftovers and the Leech Seed gets us just over the range to stay alive for any hit from a Raikou. So I opted to go for a Toxic, put this thing really on a counter as he goes for a Volt Switch, gets a critical hit, and goes into Volcarona here, which is unfortunate. I mean, a Fire type in front of a Grass type, not the greatest set in the world. But as you will see, we opted to go for a Air Slash, thinking he was going to stay as a Bug type, but as it turns out, he went to Terra Electric, which I didn't see coming. I did not see Electric in anything, which honestly scared me. But he went for Quiver Dance as expected. I did say in the team builder Quiver Dance was going to be a must. He goes for a second Quiver Dance of all things as we go for a Leech Seed, try to keep chipping this thing down. Now, it's at 74% plus 2 in special attack, special defense, and speed. While Leech Seeded, while Terra Electric. We all know what Volcarona is going to click here, and it clicks Fiery Dance. Shaman goes down. He gets a special attack boost. He is now at plus 3 special attack, which is very, very scary on a Volcarona. So here I have a choice. Do I switch in Greninja knowing that I'm not faster, and do I, you know, risk this going down? Do I bring in Blaziken and maybe let it go down? Do I bring Genesect in, but Genesect will not be able to live a hit because of the Stealth Rocks breaking its Focus Sash? Do I bring Zoroark in, maybe try to bait around this? But no, I decide we're going to go into Iron Hands. We'll take the 6% from Stealth Rocks. He went for Psychic. I didn't predict Psychic at all. And the fact that he went Psychic meant that the Assault Vest, and I said this straight up, thank you to Kirby for this set because he didn't knock it out. We use Earthquake. Down goes Volcarona, which is absolutely huge. It is huge. Getting rid of his Terra Captain was insane. And so he brings out Rayquaza, Airlock comes out, and as you can see right there, he used Extreme Speed, he knocks out Hariyama, and as you can see in the replay, I literally said, thank you, Kirby, if he ever sees this. Because I don't know if he is going to see this. I really do not know. If he does, great. If he doesn't, great. But Iron Hands goes down. We're now down 5-4 as we bring in our Blaziken. Now, Rayquaza, I mean, putting a fighting type in front of a flying type, not the greatest thing in the world. But we have a strategy in mind. We're trying to bait a move out of this Rayquaza. We are trying to determine if it's Choice Lock. If it's Choice Lock, we can get a bulk up off, and then we can get a speed boost. Now, technically, we'll still be down to 2 extreme speeds, but we're trying to bait him into switching out, maybe thinking that he can go into something like Tinglu and click an Earthquake. So he actually ends up going into the Tinglu as we trick, because, haha, as you guys see, trick. We just tricked that Tinglu. So if Will noticed, this isn't Blaziken. This is Zoroark, which is great. So we went for Focus Blast because even though now our special attack is lowered by Vessel of Ruin, it is locked into whatever move it wants to click. So we went for Focus Blast, he missed, Zoroark goes down, but it does its job. And I use the M&J TV line. If it ain't 100%, it's 50%. And now we bring in the real Blaziken, because we know this thing is choice locked into a Dark type move. So we Mega Evolve, and we click Bulk Up. And he goes for Throat Chop, he's just locked into it, we get our speed boost. He brings in Galarian Weezing, we go for another Bulk Up. And get another speed boost. We go for Knockoff, we take the Rocky Helmet chip, but we get rid of the Rocky Helmet. And I completely forgot about Clear Smog, so he unfortunately gets to lower our stats. As he goes for Fire Blast, it does nothing on us, which is great. And then we go for Thunder Punch, get 30%. He goes for Strange Steam. Unfortunately, Blaziken goes down here. Now we bring in Super Red Beetle. And this is honestly where Genesect was really good in this situation, because I kind of was banking on just maybe a Fire Blast missing, and I get the special attack boost, so now my Thunderbolts are extra powerful. Now, I went for a Zen Headbutt here, and I missed. And right here, I'm thinking, oh crap, I'm about to lose this battle, aren't I? Because this thing has Fire Blast, I don't have a Focus Sash anymore. If this thing hits me, I am burnt freaking toast. So, I'm banking. And he missed, which is very great. Very great. We got a little bit of a reprieve. So, we go for Zen Headbutt again. He flinches, which is really good. Then we get our Thunderbolt, and we knock it out. He goes back into Raikou here. Now here, Raikou can do Volt Switch, it can do Thunderbolt, it can do just about anything it wants. So I let it hit me with Thunderbolt, and I opt for our Shift Gear to get us to +2 speed, +1 attack, and +1 special attack after the download. So now we're faster than this thing. And I opt for a Leech Life after his extreme speed, which gets us up to good health, and the toxic damage from Shaman ends up taking down Raikou, which is great. Now, one of his last threats to Greninja is done. And he brings in Rayquaza here. Now, I'm faster than Rayquaza because of the +2 speed. And I opted for Thunderbolt, get some chip on this. Get 38% damage, he goes for V-Create. Genesect is burnt frickin' toast. And I go down. It is now Zygarde Helper versus 2 Legendaries and a Mega Evolution. So, this is tough. This is very tough right here. But I opt for the Ice Beam no matter what, because it's just going to do massive damage. It does 37% here. I go for the Grass Knot, I get the KO on Tinglu, like I said was going to happen. I get the Battle Bond off, and this is where things really get interesting. That, I get the boost. This is what I needed. I needed that boost, because now I'm definitely faster than Rayquaza. I was technically already faster than Rayquaza, but now I'm faster than Mega Metagross, even though I was already faster than Mega Metagross. But that +1 special attack and +1 attack means that I now, with the Expert Belt, knock out that Metagross. In comes the Metagross. It Mega Evolves. One hit KO. Goodbye Metagross. Rayquaza comes in with a Hope and a Prayer. It uses Extreme Speed. We live on 16%. One Ice Beam later. Goodbye. Battle Bond Greninja literally does what it should have done in the anime, and it wins a battle. And, oh my god. This battle was insane, guys. I thank Will so much for a fun match, and this is probably the ultimate definition. Now, granted, BBL is an Ubers league, but this is probably a warning to all other draft leagues. Battle Bond should not be legal, guys! If Greninja is legal, Battle Bond should not. So, there's that. But yeah, so, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I got to start getting ready for our Week 2 battle, because that one is equally as tough. If you like this video, leave a like down below. Comment down below what you think of Battle Bond Greninja. How great was it? And I will see you guys for the next installment of BB Load Sheen. Take care, everybody.